4, March the 21st, Ostara, spring equinox. Scene 1, the garden. Ankarad. So, if we just place the crocus petals and stamens in this basket, we can warm the milk over the firewalk and infuse them to create a delicious drink. Saffron coloured and imbued with aphrodisiac properties, apparently. Sound of the women laughing. Nicky. Especially when drunk with a drop of rum. Milk, the elixir of life. Or is that swimming in the sea in the winter? Kerry. Just before my father died, he asked for a glass of milk. Those were his last words. Can you bring me a glass of milk, darling? He always called my mother darling, even though she never hugged him once the whole year he was dying. Nicky. Well, here's to our glasses being half full with milk. No, overflowing. What about you, Seren? Well, I'm allergic to milk, never having been given breast milk. I was given cow's milk too young and developed a reaction to it. Talking of milk overflowing, though, we were learning about a local saint who turned the stream into milk. Kerry. I've heard many versions of the legend of St. Tadeko. Seren. He made the water of the stream milky to help feed the people. Did you know that he won his land because the local lord had kidnapped St. Tadeko's sister? He chased after him and rescued her. Then St. Tadeko made the lord give him the land as an apology. All rich men should give land to the poor, to women who have nothing of their own. It will get the men to respect them. A place of our own, that's what we need. It's what I need, a place where I am me. A place where I don't share anything, where I don't have to share everything. A place where the space is my space, sacred and quiet and private. Autonomy. I might let others visit when I'm ready. Kerry. Do you know, at the end of my garden there's an old mobile home. Seth used it for his painting. Kept it clean and dry. You can have it, Nicky. You can live there as long as you like. Just keep the stinging nettles and brambles in check. Call the gardening the rent. Nicky. Well, why, thank you. Yes, please. Bramble Slayer is my secret superhero name. Kerry. The key code is 1980, the year of Seth's birth. Seren. Can I come over and visit when you moved in, Nicky? When you're ready for visitors? I can help with the stingers. Nicky. I'm blown away. My cup runneth over. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Seren. Yeah, please come and visit. Maybe in time other visitors will also be welcome. But to start with, just you. Seren. And Rizzo? Anyway. Going back to the superhero St. Tadeko, he did everything for the people around him, who had nothing. He won some more land from the local prince who was always trying to torment Tadeko in some way. Tadeko was really tough. He slept on rocks. He wore a shirt made of hair, like really wiry hair, and was always using his bare hands for full-on farming stuff, working with the other men in the valley on the land. He used oxen to plough his fields. Then the arrogant, pushy prince decided to make off with Tadeko's team. But when he visited Tadeko's land the next day, the prince found him using a pair of wild stags to plough, with a grey wolf pulling the harrow behind them. The prince was really angry because he felt so stupid, and he brought down dogs to chase off the deer. And he sat down on a rock to watch. And when the prince tried to get up, he couldn't. Some kind of weird Tadeko magic happening. And the stuck-up prince had to apologise to Saint T and beg forgiveness. And then Tudders made the prince promise that the land would always be a sanctuary for everyone, and all animals too, if they were being picked on in any way. A sanctuary. Seren's voice drifts off. And the sound of blackbirds and birdsong is sweet and plaintive. That saint sounds like a thoroughly good bloke. I want a bloke like him. Maybe he looked a little bit like that guy off Poldark. Carrie. Many women did want him. That is, and I've heard tell of the Queggan, a stream not far from here, out in the wilds, where women went to make a wish, and it was known as the stream of the cheeky lady, where at a particular curve in the river there was something like the curve between the hip and the breast of a woman's ripe form. There was a spot where women bathed and wished for their desires to come to them. Oh, go on, Kerry. I could do with a tale to get my juices back up and running. Okay, there was a milkmaid. She'd often seen St. Tadeko ploughing in the field and giving all he grew to the poor. She was from a poor family who had several times been rescued by St. Tadeko's kindness, and his wild dark eyes and hair had caught the milkmaid's attention, and she, with her flaming red hair and green sparkling eyes, caught his. Hey, this isn't the tale I was told in Cymraeg cultural studies at school. Kerry. The best tales never are. They're passed down by word of mouth. The real tales reach us in this way when we need them. So, anyway, the milkmaid was carrying a pail to her grandparents' farm cottage over the hill, and she took the shortcut by the pool of the sexy lady stream. And the Queggan seemed to beckon her with her curvy pool of softly worn slate. She sat down a while to dip her toes in the water, for it was a warm day at the end of May, and she began to see St. Tadeko's reflection in the water at her feet. She put her pail of milk to one side, took off her clothes, and impulsively slipped into the cool water of the pool, parting her legs over the reflection of St. Tadeko's handsome smiling face. Her arms reached out in pleasure and the milk spilled into the pool. The stream turned white with milk, and from that moment of pleasure onwards the river flowed with milk, and whenever the people of the village needed it. That stretch of water was then known as Llaeth Nant. As for Tadeko, he was a saint and a celibate, and the milkmaid and her green eyes could never kiss his lips in the mortal world. But in the realm of fairy, he'd been her mate for a while, and that was enough for her. She grew great with child, and that child became a renowned green witch of great and good power. That's it. I'm off to the Queggan pool to find my female desire again. Don't try and tell me where it is. I've seen that place. I see it in my mind's eye, and I see it when I go walking. And it's true, the water has a milky look at times. In the late spring, when everything is bursting and budding and flowing. Oh, yeah. Scene 2. The garden again. Down near the stream. Puja. It's the spring Ankarad. It's the spring equinox today. I thought we could do a kind of puja and cast some spring herbs and flowers into the stream to mark our wishes for the year ahead now the winter is behind us. Sound of women chatting happily, and the wind chimes, and the sound of rustling in hedgerows and baskets. So there's a sound of a bell, which Ankarad rings, and then the sound of liquid pouring from a height into the stream. This spring I'm going to ask my mum why and listen and hug her if she'll let me. Saffron milk is delicious. I'll share a drop with the stream and drink a big gulp. And the sound of drinking. Kerry. Cry out. Don't be stolid and silent with your pain. Lament, and let the milk of loving flow into you, says Rumi in his poem Cry Out in Your Weakness. Seren. Yeah, I know that poem. We did this one. The hard rain and wind are ways the cloud has to take care of us. Be patient. Respond to every call that excites your spirit. And I mean every call. Sound of drinking and the stream and laughter.